So now we're hearing that the cost of living adjustment, the increase in Social Security benefits for 2023 is going to be projected to be 10.5%. And forgive me for not getting excited for folks who are getting that increase. While I do agree it is a whopping increase. It's a whopping increase from the 8.6% that was projected, the COLA increase projection that was 30 days or so ago, 60 days ago, they were projecting it to be 8.6%. But now, they're saying 10.5% is likely if inflation stays where it's at, or maybe if it increases a little bit, it'll go up even a little bit more. But again, forgive me for not being excited about it, because I don't believe that increase, that projected increase of 10.5% is nearly enough to meet the financial obligations of folks who are receiving their monthly Social Security check. And I don't believe it's enough, because the formula that is used to calculate that increase is deeply flawed. And I'm going to be talking about that in this video, why it's not enough and why that formula that is being used is deeply flawed. It's not working the way that it should be working. But also what I want to do is I want to touch on Medicare benefits just a bit, because what we know is that last year in 2022, when the 5.9% COLA increase came about, we know, they had a 5.9% COLA increase, but then, of course, you had a over 14% increase in the Medicare B premium, and that increase ate up a big chunk of that 5.9% COLA increase. So I want to talk just a little bit about what's going to happen, or what could happen with Medicare B. I'll talk about that right after this break. Welcome back to Over 50 TV. My name is Lou Reyes. And as I said before the break, in this video, what I want to do is talk about why 10.5%, this projected increase in COLA benefits for 2023, I want to talk about why that amount is not enough. And then I want to touch on, as I said, I do want to touch on Medicare B and the premium increase or decrease in Medicare B premium. I'll be talking about that. But before I do, I want to mention that if you're someone who is considering going back to work, or if you are employed and you want to change jobs, well, in the description box of this video, what I do have is I have a free cover letter, what I call a cover letter that hiring managers can't resist. It's a 5-sentence cover letter. You can use all or part of it in conjunction with your resume. And also in the description box, what I have for you is I do have a link to a free career aptitude test. Now, this career aptitude test is courtesy of Career Fitter. And if you follow my channel, you follow me, then you know I'm a big advocate of career aptitude tests, because I know that they can help steer you to a career that better fits your skills, your knowledge, your experience, and of course, your personality. So I do have a link to the free career aptitude test, courtesy of Career Fitter. Now, if you do want to dive deep into your career, you really want to get more information, you even may want to find some positions that are out there right now where they do have a paid version. I want to let you know that as well. So now let's get to our video, and let's talk about why this 10.5% increase is not nearly enough. It's not nearly enough to meet the obligations of people who are receiving a monthly Social Security check. So now let me tell you why the COLA formula is deeply flawed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to read to you something off the Social Security website. And what I'll do is I will put a link. I'll put a link to their website, to this particular page. I'll put a link in the description box. If you have any inkling that you want to read it, you want to try to understand it, maybe a little bit more than I'll be explaining it to you. But in essence, the reason that I say the COLA formula is deeply flawed is because the premise, what it's based on, is not accurate for older people, older workers, for seniors, for people who are receiving a monthly Social Security benefit. And I'm going to read this to you. It's based on what is called the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. And that's a monthly measure of the average change over time in the prices paid by urban wage earners and clerical workers for a market basket of consumer goods and services. So what they're doing is they're looking at the Consumer Price Index, and as it says here, they are looking at the market basket of consumer goods and services, and it's really based on the spending patterns of urban wage earners. And it does say, and I'll put this in the notes for you here, urban wage earners and clerical workers. They call it the CPI-W. And why I say that this is deeply flawed is because it doesn't take into consideration the health care costs of people who are receiving Social Security benefits, and many of them are seniors. And as we know, seniors, their health care costs have greatly increased from when they were in their 30s or their 40s, which is what the CPI-W is based on. So it's based on the overall cost, but if you slice out, or if you take out what the increased cost seniors have, you'll see that that number should actually be higher. And that's why, again, this is why I say it's deeply flawed. It's just not taking into account the real cost for seniors. And therefore, this 10.5% increase, while it is substantial, and I agree with that, it's substantial, but so is the inflation rate that many people on Social Security, and really all of us, have had to endure over the course of these last few months, and certainly even in the beginning of the year when prices actually started to increase. Not as substantial as they are now, but they've definitely been increasing. What we know is this last increase in 2022, the 5.9 COLA increase, that didn't meet inflation. So right now, older folks who are getting the benefits, they are still trying to play catch up. And now this new increase, while it is substantial, and again, I don't want to repeat myself, it's substantial, but it is not going to be enough for older people who are getting Social Security benefits. So I think the formula is deeply flawed. I'm actually, when I've looked at Social Security for quite a while, and I know that before 1973, 75, Congress actually had to vote on any increase in Social Security benefits, and after 75, when they enacted legislation that just went ahead and made it an automatic, and they used this formula. So I'm real pleased that they do have a formula. I think it's important. It just makes it streamlines this whole process, especially for Congress and for you and me. But what it does, though, is it doesn't take into account everything that needs to be taken into account. I think there are some people I can imagine who would have objections to what I'm saying. But I can tell you right now, it's not taking into account everything that should be considered. Therefore, it is a formula that's deeply flawed. And therefore, this 10.5% projected increase in 2023 benefits, I say it's not enough. So now I did say that I want to touch on Medicare B premium and what happened in 2022 when we had the 5.9% increase in the COLA benefits. But at the same time, simultaneously, what we had a 14.5% increase in the premium cost for Medicare B. So what happened is many seniors, what they found was that their Medicare premiums jumped up to about $170. I think it was $170.10. I believe it is the number. But regardless, their premium amount, what they pay, what's deducted automatically from their Social Security check, they saw that increase. So what happens is you get a 5.9% increase in your Social Security benefits, and then your premium benefits, your Medicare B premium benefit increased as well. So it was a big chunk of that 5.9% COLA increase went right back out. It was deducted and went to pay for your premium, your Medicare B premium. So it didn't quite offset it. It didn't offset it, but was definitely an increase in your premium. And I got a comment here. I want to read this to you from one of our viewers. He actually commented on a video, an update I gave on Social Security about a month ago. MX Nobody is what she says. She goes by her handle on YouTube. It says Medicare will suck it up as it always does, and she's talking about the increase, the COLA increase that was projected, the 8.9%. And she says Medicare will suck it up as it always does. In 2010, I received $874 before Medicare. Today, I receive a gross of $1,089. But guess what? My Medicare premium also premium costs $238, which brings me back down to $851. And she says, "Get it?" Yeah, I get it. It is definitely that Medicare premium didn't help anyone, and as I see in the rest of her comment, it certainly didn't help her to make ends meet. So yeah, there are a lot of people who haven't been happy when they saw that 14.5% increase in their Medicare premium. But there may be a glimmer of hope, and I'm going to read this to you. And it says here, the government recently said that Medicare B premiums should be adjusted downward to account for an overestimate in costs attributable to the inclusion of a new Alzheimer's drug called Anahelm. And that announcement came after Medicare said it would restrict use of Anahelm as well as a price cut from the drugs manufacturers. So there is a chance, it sounds like it. I'll wait to see it before I pass any judgment, before I count on it even. But it looks like just maybe your Medicare B premium could go down a bit, at least as I interpret it here in this description here. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll put a link to this in the description box so you can check it out for yourself. So now let me just sum up this video in just a few sentences, basically. So I started out by saying in the opening statement, I said that this 10.5% increase in COLA benefits, cost of living benefits, it's not enough. I said it's not enough because the formula that is used to determine the amount, the increase, is deeply flawed, and it's deeply flawed because it doesn't take into consideration costs that are particular to people who are older. And basically those costs have to do with healthcare costs, and healthcare costs are through the roof. So when you don't add those costs in this formula, 10.5% is not nearly enough. Well, that's all I got for you today, my friends. If you have any comments, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to get some feedback from you. I want to mention I do have the 5-sentence cover letter in the description box if you're interested in using that, sending out a resume to find a new position, a new career. I also have a career aptitude test, a link to a free career aptitude test courtesy of Career Fitter. There's a paid version in there. I should mention to you that I am what's called an affiliate of Career Fitter. I learned about Career Fitter because I did a review of a bunch of free career aptitude tests. I found Career Fitter to be the best. So I signed up to be an affiliate, which means if you purchase a paid version, I do get a small percentage. If you get the free one, I get nothing. Whatever is best for you is best for me. Well, again, that's all I got for you. I do want to say one thing I always say is this. Have a great day, everybody.